I want to introduce you to a friend. His name is Drew. He's kind of quiet, but he has a great story about growth. This is Drew. He is a pothos plant, but I didn't buy him at a store like this. He grew. I want to show you how he began. Drew doesn't begin by planting seeds in the ground. He grows in a unique way. You clip off the little branches of the plant, and then you put them in these separate vials here. Over time, these little plants are gonna start to grow roots, but you can't just take one of these little plants and stick it in a pot. It'll die. You take all of these stems, and once their roots sprout, you put them into some fresh soil in a pot together. And then a few months later, you have something like this. You see, these plants, they don't grow on their own. They grow together. Does that sound familiar? Groups connect, protect, and grow. We love people at Faith Promise, and we love people through our groups. God made people to be together. Groups are a place where people grow, and because we love people, groups are a place where they help other people grow together. Every follower of Jesus has a purpose. We have a calling, a mission, a world to win. We want every person at Faith Promise to discover their purpose and win their world. So when we think about grow in groups, we are thinking win. W-I-N. What is next and who is next? What is next? First, as a group leader, you're creating a safe place for people to take next steps with Jesus. That's growth. Each step forward in their walk with Jesus is growth. Let me use a couple of more examples from Drew. Growing a plant is kind of like being a group leader. We have to make sure that they have a safe place, right? But guess what? I can't make them grow, and you can't make them grow. Sure, we can put them in the sunlight, and just like the growth of this plant, then God is in control of your growth and the growth of the people in your group. Remember, you're a part of the group. The group should be helping you continue to grow and take next steps with Jesus. Now, here's another important thing to remember. Sometimes one of these stems looks healthy on the outside, but there can be something making it unhealthy on the inside, keeping it from growing. Grow doesn't just mean changing our behavior and our outward appearance. Real, lasting growth begins on the inside. As a group leader, you create the safe space. Now, maybe you're wondering, how can I know that people are taking next steps with Jesus? Remember, connect and protect come first. If there's no relationship and no prayer, how are you going to know that people are taking next steps with Jesus? Once you're connecting and protecting with your group, then begin to ask questions. Be honest about the steps you're taking. Challenge the group. Hold each other accountable. So that is what is next. The second part of our win culture is who is next. Every one of us has people in our life that are far from God. What if the Holy Spirit is preparing us to reach them so that they can experience the love of God and the freedom of following Jesus? Groups are a place where people learn to share their story and God's story. One last thought on who is next. Plants grow just like people grow, and just like groups grow. And just like these plants, this plant is going to outgrow its pot at some point. It's going to need a new pot to keep growing. At some point, your group is going to multiply to stay healthy. God is going to bring someone along for you to invest in spiritually at a different level. You'll apprentice them, and eventually their next step will be leading their own group. We don't want to just have a bunch of houseplants that are getting too big for the pot. We want our ministries to multiply. Here's what Jesus said to his disciples. All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Teach them to observe all that I've commanded you, and behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. Did you catch that? Jesus said, go make disciples of all nations. That means win the world, right? That means who is next. Then he said, teach them all that I've commanded. That means what is next? People taking their next steps with Jesus. But best of all, Jesus said, I'm with you. You're not alone. And we are with you. Jesus is with you. And we are excited for you. Thank you for taking this next step in your journey. I believe that you are going to love people in your group, and God is going to do great things. Get ready to multiply ministry and to help people to win their worlds.